I It is Tuesday, May 19th, 2015. I just came back from Clackamas Mall, and I'm extremely disturbed. I was having a discussion with Melinda. Melinda's the little voice inside my head. The woman that I had met in California years ago, who introduced herself to me, and who I even tried to pursue at one point, but the whole thing backfired, and out the door I went. I went to Clackamas, and to watch a movie, and instead of watching a movie, I ended up having an incident with the mall, with the management and the place, and I don't know. I don't think I overreacted. I guess it was just a matter of time before me having to deal with these issues. You know, issues follow people from place to place, and you know me, I'm big on issues, and I'm constantly dealing with them. I left the house and I went to the bank. Went to the library to upload the information that I had given you earlier this morning, Duclairon's upload, and the destruction of Pompeii, and the destruction of the world. And as I was sitting in the library waiting for a computer, the community, the gay community or clan community, whatever you call them, they came out, and their response was to hit, because I don't know why, but they came out and they hit. And then there was, I guess there was another actor from another movie that came out, but it wasn't direct. You have to read it. You have to understand, I'm a foreigner. I don't read. I'm not good at reading because I don't know what it is that I'm dealing with. How can I read into something that I'm not familiar with, right? I'm not from this community. I'm not from this country, and so I wasn't raised as a reader. I was raised to take things straight. My people, if they, you know, I'm Haitian and I'm Cuban. If my people read into things, they never told me that they were reading into it. You know, we don't have that community in our country unless you recently went down and established yourself there. And if you did, you're going to cause a lot of chaos, and you're going to bring a lot of grief to those people. And those people are going to suffer terribly if you go into our country with that gay clan mindset to indoctrinate us in homosexuality and to indoctrinate us into reading into things. And it's going to cause the people, more than 300,000 people are going to die. You understand? More than 300,000 people are going to lose their lives, and that island is poor. And so, you know, I would ask you to have compassion on the Haitian people as Europeans, because some of the things that God may have disclosed to you or given to you, I don't know if God has given it to us, you know, and maybe a few of us are on that level, but to say that all of us are on the same level as you in terms of this community, I would beg you to be very, very, very merciful to those people. I don't know their level. I grew up here, but I didn't grow up on the community side. I grew up with a straight mindset. The government allowed me to grow up with a straight mindset and to see things from a straight point of view. So what I'm about to say tonight may offend some of you, and it may not. May God be with me. You know, I'm a Christian. I'm a professing Christian, and I'm a preacher. And I deal with my own heart the same way they deal with me. I deal with the community heart because I don't know the community. And to be truthful, I don't want to know the community. It's confusing to me. I don't understand how two men can sit there and look at each other that way, or how one man can look at another man and feel so much hatred and animosity toward him and lynch him and break his neck. I don't understand what is the big deal about wearing white. You know, there's nothing special about white. And if you see white, you're supposed to just be on your P's and Q's, because if you're not, then the community is going to give it to you. What community is this? I don't have the foggiest idea. I don't know what has happened from the time that on the community side. I don't know what has happened from the time that Lincoln freed the slaves until today. There has been, you know, it's one thing to be born in America and to grow up with American thinking and seeing things from an American point of view. But it's another when you've been born into another country and you pick up spurts of what that country is about. You move to a second country, you pick up spurts of what that country is about, and you come to a third country and you pick up only a fraction of what's going on because nobody gives you any information. It's very difficult to try to piece it all together as to what is going on in the world. You understand? And then apart from that, there is an Israel and there is the church. Okay? And so for a man my age, I probably should know 10 times more than what I know. But being that I grew up without a family and parents, people that can invest their lives in me, I had to, pretty much do with what I had. I had to use the resources that I had to make it from point A to point B. And so you Americans are going to have to make some room for people like me. And I'm not alone, but you're going to have to make some room in your world out there for people like me. Like I said, I'm saying this, and I'm not just speaking on my own behalf, but I'm speaking on behalf of most of us who are internationals who come into American soil who don't know the beginning and the end of how you're living in your American households. We see radios, we see telephones, we see computers, we see television, big screen TVs, small screen TVs. We see you living in small apartments like studios, like I'm living in, and some of you are living in penthouses, others of you are living in chateau, castles and chateaus, and others of you are living on gated communities. We don't have any idea, okay, why you would go through so much just to have a roof over your head, and why some housing costs $3.5 million and others cost $35 billion. I mean, you go to the extreme. You go from the Portland Rescue Mission to people buying $90 million mansions and castles. Who lives in a $90 million mansion or castle? Nobody. I mean, unless you're a quadrillionaire, people just don't have that kind of money in their backyard or in their bank account. You know what I'm saying? And so I say all of this because, I went to, when I got online in the computer, I uploaded the information and I didn't have any problem uploading anything, which was great. I needed that much to be able to go online to do the work. Of course, I was hit by the community, so I went online to look for the Roman nudes to give them their respect, right? Because they told me that what they communicated to me was that anytime something happens, take it off, or we're going to apply the hit. So anytime you see me in any mall, in any library, and I take it off, it's because that's what I've been trained to do. Okay, that's what I've been trained to do. That's the mindset I've been given, which is contrary to what? Which is contrary to what I believe, what I practice, and what I teach. Okay, I'm going to leave this right here. Now, you probably can't see it, so I'm going to have to elevate it here with a book or two. And so you remember, I'm going to leave this right here. Okay, this is the position that I was given. This is the position that I was given as a high schooler. And I've kept this position as much as I possibly could all the way. But this is what I'm dealing with here. You understand? This is the position that I've been given by God, and I've kept the position. But this is what I'm dealing with. Okay? And it's not something that just all of a sudden just started. It's been going on for the last 4 years since I've been here, and I've addressed it before, but nothing was done. And now it occurred again today, and it's like, here we go, one more time. Okay, so I entitled this talk, Duclairon's Issues with Malls and Movies. Okay, malls and movies. So when I was at the library, after uploading the video, and the information and the photos and everything else, I turned on the nudes, okay, and just to alleviate or to give these people their peace of mind that I came out, because I guess the community took the position of the actors of the movie Pompeii, and I guess one of the main characters came out, and I was hit, and they used him to hit me. Another movie I had watched, Transformers, and they took the position of one of the main actors, and I was hit a second time, and I considered it a hit. So I took both hits and I didn't say anything. I got on the computer, I got off the computer, but they became angry. I don't remember what exactly I was doing, but they shut down the computer while I was uploading my information. They shut down the computer without me shutting it down myself. So they terminated my time before I could confirm whether or not all of my stuff was uploaded. I didn't get angry. I got up and I left the library. On my way to Clackamas Mall, because I had already gone to the bank and transferred some cash to make sure that I had money to go to the mall. Before I got to the mall, the movie that I wanted to see was which is by one of the actors out there, about some kind of destruction, right? Some kind of destruction to the city of Los Angeles or something. I don't remember what it was, but it seemed kind of like an interesting documentary, so I wanted to see it, whether or not it was playing there. Melinda says, no, it's not playing there. But I didn't realize that was her warning for me not to go. So when I got to Clackamas, on my way to Clackamas, the community came out several times. And I wasn't sure if they were hitting me or they were trying to entice me. But I didn't really respond. I walked into this, I think it was Macy's or one of those stores. They had communicated something, and my response to them was no. So I went and got a vial of cologne. And as I was looking at another thing of cologne, they sent some of their Hispanic men or boys. I'm not sure if they were high schoolers or college students, but they sent some of their Spanish men to cut me off. That was very insulting, and that was the beginning of the insult, or the continuation of the insult, because the people on the train were also Hispanic, and one of them was. The others were from Iranian or Iraqi. I don't remember what country they were from, but in any way, it was very obvious that something wasn't right on the train on my way there. So when I get there, I got insulted at Macy's, and then I made my way to the theater. When I got there, and I was looking at the time and asking questions, and the manager or the person behind the desk, whom I purchased the ticket from, made it very obvious that my money or my company was not welcome there. I wasn't sure how to take that, because I don't usually go to malls. And when I do go to a mall, it's because I want to watch a movie, I want to buy some food, or I don't hang out at malls. I've never been the type of person to hang out at a mall. I've worked in movie theaters in the past, and I've never had a problem going into a movie, just sitting there and watching it like, just a movie. I've never had problems at the mall. But it seems to me that malls have become, there was something that the malls didn't reveal to me growing up that now it is blatant. There is so much, there's the whole history of Americans is at those malls. When you go there with money in your pocket to go shopping, sometimes they won't allow you to shop. Other times they won't allow you to shop, or sometimes they'll allow you to buy food, but they'll shorten you in the food that you purchase. Or they will put laxative in the food to make you sick. Or when you ask them, for something, they'll act like they don't hear you. Or they'll give you the opposite of what you ask for. That has happened to me at the Portland Mall, where I went into the food area to purchase food. One, they added laxative. This is the Asian community. They added laxative to the food. I nearly shit out my guts. Another time, I asked them for a specific kind of food, and they acted like they didn't even hear me. And I'm thinking, geez, Louise, you're internationals just like I am, and you are about the rudest people that I have ever dealt with in my life. Why are you so rude? I am trying to buy food from you so I can eat, right? And if the issue is not where you buy food, it's the security who accuses you falsely of drugs. You're a drug dealer, or you were smoking pot in here. 4 times at the Portland Mall, I was literally escorted out because, you're a homeless and you're carrying too many bags. It's like, however many bags I want to carry, what is that any of your business? I mean, the security at these malls are so rude. I mean, they hire these white boys or these Hispanic boys with the Klan mentality to chase out the niggers, or to chase out the Negroes, or to chase out the internationals, or to chase out the inferior people. Because our malls are so, we're such a rich people. Only rich people can come in here and buy our rich items. And I'm thinking, this is not Europe. This is America. This is not where you pompously go and, and present yourself. And I'm thinking, I called the police, and the police's response is, well, this is private property, right? So they can usher you out of the mall. And I'm like, great. And after being escorted out 4 times, the other day I said, I need to go talk to a supervisor and see what is the problem here that I keep getting this maltreatment at your mall. And so I wrote a note to the manager, and I said to the manager, what gives, man? What's going on? To this day, and this was 3 months ago, to this day, the supervisor or manager never wrote me back. And I thought, you know what? That's exactly what I thought. No response whatsoever. They mistreat the homeless. They chase you away. I mean, it's almost like, if somebody is homeless, it doesn't mean that they're not human. It just means that they don't have money. It means that somebody has pulled the carpet from under them and is keeping them from getting a job. I think everybody grows up in a country or in a household where they tell you, go to school, go to church, do your homework, make sure you clean up, make sure you brush your teeth when you get up, don't leave the house without wearing clean underwear. We all grow up with parentage, or we all grow up with some form of authority that leads us in the right direction. So when you see the people out there, it's not because they don't want to clean themselves. Sometimes a person can get all cleaned up, and the person that has them down, it drives them right back to that position because they want to look down on them. In other words, I don't want to see you on my level, therefore I'm going to crush you, hurt you, do whatever it is that I have to do to you to keep you down. To keep you down so I can look down on you. People have that kind of pride in America, And people who go to malls, people who work at malls, seems to also have that chip on their shoulder, right? As soon as they see a black guy, security is called 10 times. And security is circling around the African. It's like, what do you want? What do you want from us? What do you want here? It's like, what is it that about your products that's so special, or your food that's so special, that people of color cannot purchase it? Are we not created in the image of God? I mean, for reals. Are we not created in the image of God? Don't we have a right to come to these damn malls and buy the food and sit down and eat it and enjoy it? Or go to a movie theater and watch the damn movie and enjoy it? Why do we have to be treated like shit? Same thing at this Lloyd Center Mall. Go there, and it seems like as soon as I walk in, all the African-American women are, okay, he's here on the 3rd floor. It's almost like they're talking on radios to make sure that they're circling me when I get to that one area of the 3rd floor, where all the teeny boppers are hanging out, these little teenage girls. It's like, look, I don't go to the mall to look for teenage girls. I don't go to the mall to look for teenage boys. I don't go to the mall to look for gay boys with fat asses so they can turn me over to some black girl. You understand? I don't go to the mall looking for sissy boys. I don't go to the mall looking to steal anything. I don't go to the mall for anything other than what I need. If I need to go through the mall, I will walk through the mall. If I need to go get a cup of coffee at Starbucks, I'll go get a cup of coffee at Starbucks. If I need to walk through to go to my bank or Safeway, and I'm talking about the Lloyd Center now, pushing aside the Portland Mall. If I need to go through the mall to get to where I'm going, I'm going to do it. That's bullshit that I can't walk through a mall to get to the other side of the mall. I mean, it's ridiculous that nobody should be walking in pins and needles. The mall is for everybody, unless you want to go back to the Jim Crow days and put up a sign on every door saying, niggers are not allowed, Christians are not allowed. Maybe you might even want to go as far as say Jews are not allowed either. And if it's Europeans only, I'm not exactly sure what the problem is with you people at the malls, right? You have that chip on your shoulder, that attitude, especially among the Asians with their food. It's like, whoa, chill. This is not Asia. You don't need to be so racist, right? It's just food. It's just food. You don't have to be so racist against us, We're not trying to get into your pants. We're not trying to get into your panties. We're not trying to touch your titties. We're not trying to do anything to you. You don't have to be so rude and so obnoxious. When we ask for something, please give it to us. Because at some point or another in the future, you might need something from us, and You know, me, no, you will never need anything from me. But you don't need to come out the way you do. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. You understand what I'm saying? I understand the whole platonic position, but you know, there comes a point where you need to respect other cultures and other nations and other peoples too. You know, if you want that kind of respect, whether it's at the mall or outside of the mall, you don't need to be assholes to us when we're there. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we can go down that road if we need to. And so I'm trying to be real with you, you know, in dealing with the mall issue. And so that brings me to the Clackamas Mall. Okay. A couple months ago, I went to the Clackamas Mall to watch 50 Shades of Grey. Now, they told me that it was full of sex. The community wanted me to come out. I didn't want to come out because I don't believe in sex outside of marriage. I don't believe in homosexuality. And I don't believe in fornication and adultery. Okay? And this has been my position since high school. Okay? High schoolers can tell you. They can give you both sides. But in any case, when I went there, they told me that that was the only movie that was playing when I had gotten there. So they said, it's 50 Shades of Grey. I said, okay, well, whatever. I'll buy a ticket, and went and sat down, right? As soon as the movie started playing, the first person that was on the screen was a female, one of the lead actresses. The female was a woman whom I automatically recognized as the counselor that I had at Harborview, I think it was, hospital up in the Seattle area. And she gave me that spirit, and I couldn't stop looking at the woman as if she was that doctor. Right? That psychiatrist, psychologist, or what she was. But I didn't say anything to the woman. I just watched it as if it were a movie. And then another actor came out, and it was like, wait a minute, why does this woman look like Carol? Carol Banks, whom I knew at Grace Community Church. I was uncomfortable. By the time the third character came out, the actor, the leading male, I'm like, this guy is a Guy Franklin. What is this? You know, and I couldn't figure out what the theme of the whole thing was. And as I watched the movie, it seems to me like a question was being asked of me, right? If I had read the title, 50 Shades of Grey, it would have been fucking factual. Yes, gay Ron, let me see, safe homo addict, earn sex, unfag, gay Ron earns yes. Okay, as you can see, as international, what I'm doing here is a no-no, right? Because most American-born Africans don't go into this much detail in dealing with you as a community and all of this garbage that you've been throwing at me, thinking that I'm going to change my direction with the Word of God and change my direction with the Church of God and change my direction with the American continent because you've given me your information and your side of the story. So I go in and I sit and I'm looking at these people, and what seems to be the theme of the whole thing is, will you take sex in exchange for a hit, a beating, or will you take that kind of life? And I almost felt like that's what was being asked of me, and they were talking to me, not just to the audience, but to me directly. And I'm like, I've never felt that way before in watching a movie, as if they were talking directly to me, and it's like, I don't have anything to do with your movie. I don't have anything to do with the production of it, the actors that you've hired. I mean, I don't know. And all of a sudden, boom, the movie is turned off. The whole mall is shut down. And I'm thinking, what gives, man? What is this shit? What just happened here? And of course, everybody left the theaters. All of the movies were turned off. Everybody left the theaters, and as soon as they saw me, their spirit changed. And I thought, what? I didn't do nothing. And it's almost like what was in that one movie was being communicated to all the other movies to let them know whether or not I submitted to whatever was being asked of me by these people on behalf of the Franklin family, whether or not I'm willing to have sex for the submission. They didn't come out straightforward and said it, but it was in the movie. And I thought, this is really peculiar. I've never felt this way before. Why am I feeling like these people are trying to communicate something to me, but they can't just spit it out and say it in words like I'm speaking to you now, but in everything that they're doing, right, on that screen, it is so obvious. And so I said, all right, And when I was purchasing that ticket, the attendant says, "Hey, by the way, you know that we have this 550 a deal where you can watch movies on Tuesdays." So I said, "Sure, I'm gonna definitely take you up on that." So the following Tuesday, or a couple Tuesdays later, I came and I watched a movie, and that feeling was still there. And I thought, that's not good. I'm gonna keep coming just to see if it will go away. So I went today to watch a movie. And when I got there, as soon as I got there, the manager was like, and as soon as he did this, that means that it brought me back to the conversation that I had with the manager of West Shore Apartments, where she was saying, yeah, well, you can. She was telling me, well, you can't stay. You can't renew your lease with us, right? I didn't know that for 10 months I was going to be roaming the streets of Portland, in California, and going to jail. You understand what I'm saying? So when she was doing this, it means that we were separating. We were going in opposite direction. I couldn't renew my lease. And so now here is the manager of the Clackamas Mall taking the same position. He didn't use the thumbs like she did, but when he did this, that basically meant we're done. You understand? We're over. And as he and before he could continue, this little old lady came around and she handed him a $5 bill, right? And he allowed her to go in. And I'm thinking, well, was this set up so that Gabriel Franklin could, was this something that was done by the Clackamas movie theater at the mall to honor Gabriel Franklin? Because the number 5, which is supposed to be her birth date, September 5th, 19 whatever, were they trying to honor her as a gay community using the number 5? And he was trying to make me feel like, well, we're not honoring it anymore, therefore you can't come to Clackamas and watch these $5 movies on Tuesdays. And I'm thinking to myself, who the hell are you to tell me when I can come and watch a movie? Right? I never said that to him, but that's how I felt. I never communicated that to him with my mouth. But what he communicated to me with his posture, the anger, the rejection, the hate that came out of the man, just said to me, you're in the wrong place, you're going to get hit, this isn't, you shouldn't be here. I mean, the warning was Klan. It was all, it was just so Klan. I was so pissed off at the man. Instead of walking away, I bought the ticket. And I said, okay. And then I went over to Burger King. Clackamas Town Center. So I went over to Burger King, and when I got to Burger King, I was hit again. But this hit was different because it was, again, the Asians, and I think it was a Hispanic male. I sort of recognized the Hispanic male, but I couldn't figure out who he really was. So in the end, I was just like, hey, you look just like my manager's son. You look like the son of the manager where I live at, right? Because that was a thought that came to mind. And he gave me the service, but I felt like there was something there. What? I'm not exactly sure. I didn't pry. You go to these places and you feel that there's tension. You don't know why, because you've never met the person. You're dealing with them for the first time, but you know that you don't belong there, and you don't know why you don't belong there, right? And I think it might have been because last time I went to a Burger King, the African American that was behind the counter would not give me the service that I had asked for. And so what seems to happen is that in these American stores, if something happens here at one store, it carries over to the next, which is what has happened with the Portland Mall, the Lloyd Center Mall, and now the Clackamas Mall. So when you have an issue with one mall, it goes from mall to mall to mall, and it's the same issues that keep arising, right? And you go to one store like Burger King, and it goes from one. And then there were two African Americans sitting there, and I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying, but you could feel it, like something is not right with this situation. I shouldn't be here enjoying myself, eating a meal, and then watching a movie. It's a no-no. Why am I here enjoying a meal and watching a movie? How dare I do that? Right? That's how I felt. Like, the community warned you not to watch a movie. The community warned you not to eat a meal. It's like, who the hell is this community that's warning me and telling me that I can't enjoy my money, my life, my time Who the hell is this community of homosexuals and Klansmen to tell me what I can and cannot do during the course of my lifetime? Is this how African Americans are living in this country, on pins and needles, where they can't even go to a mall? Is this how African Americans are living in the 21st century, where they can't even go and buy a meal? You got to send homosexuals to warn them, and it's almost like, oh, well, we're here, you can serve him now. What if the African brothers were not there? Would I have gotten any kind of service? What if the Asian woman hadn't said, yeah, we serve ice cream here at 75 cents? Would I have gotten any ice cream? And of course, after eating that ice cream, I was sitting there on the seat for what seemed like an eternity, right? Because I was so, I mean, the whole thing just, wow. And I'm glad, because I dumped it at the movie theater, and I felt like that was the only thing that I was there to give, you know. And it really angered me that. Anyway, long story short, after going into the theater, and again, it was an Asian woman. The manager wasn't there. The second time, it was an Asian woman who looked at my ticket and allowed me in. Went in, used, and as soon as I sat in the theater, when I walked into the theater, there was one person there. An old elderly woman wearing a white shirt, a black jacket, and she was on the telephone. And William Shatner comes out on the screen. And I'm not sure if it was my own spirit, but it was so insulting what had transpired from that screen, that I quietly, after he was done, I never looked at his face. I quietly got up, went to the where I purchased the ticket. And I handed them back the ticket and told them, I'm sorry, I can't watch this movie. And I gave them my debit card for Bank of America and went around to the front. And I said to him, I didn't know that the Klan, Clackamas was a Klan-run city. I didn't know that Clackamas was being governed by the Klan. Is that the reason why? Is that the reason why people get shot and killed in Clackamas? Because they're being judged by the KKK, right? I mean, that's what I was trying to affirm or confirm from him, that the mall, the mall here, it's the KKK, the M there, let me show you what I'm saying. Here's the word mall. You see the word mall there? That's a Klan head, that's a Klan head, and that's a Klan head, right? That's the KKK. And on this side, it's lovely lady. The lovely lady doesn't necessarily mean a female. It could mean a fag. So that would be the gay Klan. And that's what I was trying to affirm from the manager, is this a gay Klan city being run by the Klan, right? When you write the word Clackamas, right? What do you see here? Look at the bottom. What do you see here? What's this? Right? Is this here the same as this here? Right? Now, some people would say, oh man, you're being stupid. Oh man, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh man, you're being dumb. What I was told was, on my way back, leaving the mall, Clackamas Mall, the S here, right, no longer means sex, it means slavery. So I came out on the manager of the Clackamas Mall, and I was trying to affirm with him whether or not if I'm in a situation here with the Klan, if that's the reason why I couldn't watch the movie today. I mean, they did sell me the ticket. They allowed me into the building. But the spirit it seems like they were grinding their teeth, and they were pissed off that I came into the mall. They were pissed off that I purchased a ticket. They were pissed off that I went in and had the nerve to sit down and watch them on the screen, right? And I'm thinking, okay, well, I thought a mall was to purchase food, right? A mall was for shopping or window shopping. A mall was for purchasing clothes or appliances. But I'm going into malls now, and I'm running into who? The gay Klan, right? And they're not wearing their outfit, but that's what I'm dealing with. That's the spirit that I'm dealing with. And they send Hispanic whites to chase me out, or Asians to chase me out. with whatever it is that they do. And it's almost like, brother, what are you doing here? And it's almost like, is this how Africans are being treated today in the malls of America? Or is it just Clackamas? Because that's a Klan-run city and people get murdered there. I mean, I don't go to malls to have gay Klan conversations with strangers whom I do not know, who seems to be keeping up with my personal life when I don't even know who they are. You know, now malls, there's false accusations against me. In malls, there's false, now I'm being trespassed out of malls. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a drug addict. I'm a Christian. You see, I haven't changed my Christian position yet. I'm a Christian, I believe. But I can't believe that this is what Africans are dealing with in America today. If you're doing it to me, what do you do with the, chewing gum and popping gum black girls that come with an attitude and they're as black as night and they're, and they're out and, the girlfriend. What do you do with those people when they come into the mall? Or are they even allowed into the mall? Or do they need a letter of recommendation or a letter of permission to come into the malls? Do they need permission from your supervisor, your white supervisor, your Klan supervisor, your gay supervisor? I mean, what are you running in these establishments? I understand it's private property, okay, but this is planet Earth. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Watch the video before this. This is the planet Earth. Remember what I said earlier? Here's the map, right? Figure out who we are. Right? From this point of view and this point of view. All right? This is just shopping. Remember how I was saying that earlier, people we focus on we focus on the little things and then we blow it up into this major thing when here's the big picture. Here's the big picture. Here's the earth hanging on nothing. And here's the instructions before leaving earth. Here, I'm gonna leave these two right here. Here's the map and here's the word of God. Now, I come into a mall and I can't even buy some food. I can't even watch a movie. You're going to make a big deal out of it? And you're going to be racist toward me? When we don't even know each other? My question is, who's behind this? Are you behind this, John? Are you behind this, Gabriel? Is this an extension of what you, is this an extension of you, what these people are doing in these malls? Is this an extension of what you're doing in this apartment and these apartments that I've lived in? Is this an extension of your doing? Is this an extension of your racism, John? Is this an extension of your immorality, Gabriel? And you may say, well, you haven't said anything about immorality. You'd be surprised how many homosexuals have been involved. They come out to hit. They come out to entice. And I can't say anything to them. And I recognize their faces. And all I could do is just keep my mouth shut. Throughout the whole thing that I've been dealing with in these malls. And I'm supposed to read into the whole thing. And I'm saying that's not who I am. I don't read into anything. I read the Word of God when I want to read. I read the books that are behind me. You understand? I read the Word of God and I read the books. That's all that I read. I don't read nothing else. I'm not interested in reading anything else. As far as movies is concerned, because like I said, the title of this talk is Duclairon's issues with malls and movies. When I watch a movie, when you watch my movies, I'm straightforward. I'm talking to you, the watcher, right? If you choose to listen and to watch and to write down what I'm saying here, whether good or bad, right? If you want to write down the scriptures that I'm quoting. Tonight I haven't quoted you a scripture, but the book is right there, right? I'm coming from this angle. It may not seem like I am, but I am. And I'm coming from the big picture, not the little picture, right? Not the little picture. I'm coming from the big picture, not the little picture. I'm not dealing with this. I'm dealing with this from a divine. Trying to deal with this, although I have not quoted you any verses, but here is both. Right? Here's the big picture, and here's the Word of God. But in any way, we're not going to make any mention of any of it. for right now. But when I watch a movie, I watch it because I was under the assumption that movies were entertainment, right? We had a Entertainment Tonight years ago. I don't know if it's still there, or the Big E for entertainment, and the actors and actresses would come, and now I'm being told that actors and actresses, Hollywood is no longer Hollywood, it's Holywood, right? There's a holy side to the whole thing. And I'm thinking, what? There's a holy side. Okay. And movies are no longer just movies, but it's ma vie. In other words, it's my life. In other words, whatever's on the screen, these people are going to portray my life. I'm not there to, I'm living my life. I don't need you, the actors, portraying my life back to me when I'm living it. In other words, I don't need you communicating for me to other people whom you do not even know, right? Who are you going to, I give you an answer. How do I know those people are going to get the information? So this isn't, I put on a movie, or I go to the movies, or I watch a movie on television. It's not to conversate with the actors, right? I don't even know how they do that with the camera, right? I guess every camera is different. I was told that God has his own camera. I'm not denying it. If God has a son, I'm sure he can have a camera, right? A divine camera. How? I don't know. I can't explain everything. So, whatever happened to, just people watching television, movies, and what now they're making it so that you can't even watch a movie, a decent movie. They'll chase you away. They switch, right? They switch it from movie mode to a documentary mode and to a live mode. In other words, they're able to change. They have control completely over the screen. It's not just a pre-recorded theatrical thing, but it's something where they can switch it. In other words, if you're watching Charleston Heston's Moses, which was recorded back in the, 50s, 60s, 40s, that far back, when the man was playing the role of Moses, they can somehow switch it so that he's talking to you directly. And I'm like, this man is dead, isn't he? And it's not just him, but it's all the movies, like Marilyn Monroe and all of those other people. And they can just switch it from, and it's like a conversation. I'm like, what is this? What is this? I thought it was just an entertainment piece. Now you put in movies from the 1910s and 1950s, and people that never used to talk are talking to you. They're no longer silent films. Those people know you and it's like, those people know you. It's like, how do you know me? You're dead. You've been dead for 100 years. How do you know I exist and I'm watching you? All of a sudden now, what they're communicating, that there's another side. And when you're watching the movies, you're watching the other side. I want to show you something. Because I live alone, I have a lot of free time. And sometimes I can't always concentrate to read books. So I go to the public library, and they give you about 3 weeks or so. So I go and I take out movies, right? Movies like this, World's End, The Hurt Locker. Oh, yeah. I've never seen these movies, by the way. But one of the guys from here came out through the community, and he went in the opposite direction. And I thought, you look like one of the actors from one of the movies that I just watched. I didn't watch it, but I saw the introduction of it. What does that mean? What is that supposed to mean to me? His hair is blonde and he's going in the opposite direction and he's out. Does that mean that? What does it mean? Am I talking to the guy, or am I talking to the community representing the guy? Why would the community take the position? I don't even know the guy. He's an actor. How would he know that I'm even watching his movie? Right? How does he know that I'm watching his movie? Is there a camera just waiting? When you pop these DVDs in, is there a camera somewhere? When you pop this in, is there a camera somewhere? When you pop this in, is there a camera somewhere where those people are just sitting there waiting for you to put this in, and then as soon as you put it in, you're in connection with them, and it's like, okay, camera's on, we're out. I mean, these people are in here, right? It's pre-recorded. Is there something that the government wants to tell me about the movie industry? Or is there something that the government want to tell me about the cameras that are in computers and the cameras that are, the cameras that are on the television and in the movie theaters? Maybe that was the reason why those people, the manager responded the way he did, right? So then when you look at films like this, right? I mean, or films like this, where there's death and there's fear and there's judgment, it's like it's all pre-recorded, isn't it? You have to remember, I'm not an American, and so I don't have all the information in my database. You're giving me spurts of information over the course of time without explanation, and I'm supposed to figure it out. I'm not going to figure it out if there's no one to explain to me, this is a DVD player, or this is what's going on in the movie industry. This is what we're capable of doing. Why is it a secret thing, right? Why is it a secret thing that internationals don't get a full explanation as to what exactly is? I mean, people, when they go to a movie, they see it at face value. They don't read, right? They don't know that the camera can switch from the movie mode to a live mode to a documentary mode. Some people don't know that. Some people are not even aware of the fact that if you see them, they can see you. If you see them on the screen, they can see you from where they're sitting, and they can communicate to you directly or indirectly, give you a hint as to who they are. I've had that done to me at least several times. And I'm thinking, how do you know I'm even watching you? The camera's not on anymore. This is a recording. This is a recording. How is it that in the recording you are alive and well and communicating with me? Right? Movies after movies, international movies, dancing movies, which I've seen several times. But you ask yourself, how do you resolve this? Right? How do you resolve all of this? If there's that much information about malls and movies and computers, what do these people do who knows none of this stuff that's going on? What do internationals do who are not even aware? Right? They're not even aware this is the stuff that people are dealing with on the American side. What purpose was it for me to come face to face with any of this information anyway? How is this supposed to help me as a Christian? All that stuff that I'm learning about what actors and actresses can do on the television screen and on the movie screen or on my computer, right, when I'm watching them. How am I responsible for the man who just got shot? Oh, well, you didn't respond. Respond to what? I'm not part of the script. I didn't write the script. It's not my life story. You were the actors and actresses hired to play that role. You got paid however $100,000 or $1 million to play the role. You get Academy Awards for it. Now I'm told that that's one side, but there's another side. What other side? The other side is when the people in those movies can come out and deal with you on your issues to the point of death. I want to tell you this and then bring this thing to an end. When I was living in Seattle, Washington, I don't remember. It was one late night, and it was actually there's two stories. It was a late night, and Melinda said to me, I don't remember if it was Melinda or John MacArthur himself, who says, if you ever see me again, you're gonna get hit. And it was on a weekend. I think it was on a Saturday night. And on Saturday night, I saw John on television, but I didn't think nothing of it. It was just another television interview, or he was preaching or something. I didn't see what the big deal was. I mean, everybody else is on TV. How would he know that I'm watching him, right? I mean, if it's a pre-recorded thing, how would he be aware? How would he be conscious of the fact that I am watching him preach? Right? This is the mentality that most people who are internationals who are not aware of what's going on come into American soil. They don't know that if you see them, they see you. Right? That's why they're on that side of the camera and you're on this side of the camera. Because they have an ability to see you and to communicate back to you. I didn't know that's what was going on. I had just gone to see Batman, one of the Batman movies back then, and the response of the community was to hit my vehicle, and it was done by a drunk driver, and they completely demolished the backside, the left side of the car. I mean, it was so far gone that a tow truck had to come and remove it, and I had to destroy every window. And that was the hit that was applied because I saw John MacArthur again, and because the community didn't like the fact that I watched Batman. And I'm thinking, who is this community that keeps taking these positions in the malls, forbidding people like myself from going to the malls, giving, turning the security against me? The security didn't have any issues with me. The security didn't have any reason to chase me out or to trespass me. The security didn't have any reason to hurt me or to tell me to get out or else. And now it seems like John MacArthur and his clan is doing it again. Now it's Clackamas Mall, right? It's like the whole West Coast. And then here's a warning that I was given, and the warning came, and the warning was given to me, and they said, well, when Gabriel Franklin dies, you better go to the East Coast because there's nothing for you in the West Coast, right? And don't go to New York because Guy Franklin doesn't want it. And I'm thinking, all of a sudden now, America has no longer become a playground, and it's the forbidden land. It's the forbidden land. Who is this European to you people who has the right to tell anybody where to live in this world that God has made? Right? Who are you people? From this island here, you can't even see the island on the map. Can you see the island? Can you see their island on the map? Look, tell me. Do you see that? I mean, they're from here. They come here. They come down here to look for us as slaves. They bring us over here, and then they drive us down there to the Caribbean. And then when we come back up here, they take the position of, well, you can't live here unless you submit to us as slaves from here. Is this really the America that's going on out there? Is this the real America? I mean, no TV, no malls, no movies, no radio, no telephone. What are we supposed to do? Live in seclusion and like hermits? Are we supposed to live like hermits? Just sit there and read books, and even then they start control. I mean, if this is what's going on with radio and television and movies and malls, what's going on with the books? You can't read these books. You can't write books because you're bound to quote somebody or take on somebody's mentality on an issue. I mean, how far are we going here from the truth? Right? How far are we going from the big picture? How far are we going here? Right? Are we nitpicking at all these little things? How far are we going from God and the truth here? Now telling people they can't go into a mall to watch a dumb movie? Really? They can't even go to a restaurant, sit down and eat. Oh, because we don't serve niggers? You know that people in Portland still have that mentality? They give you bad service because they don't want to serve you because of your skin? Here in Portland is probably one of the most racist cities in America, next to Seattle and Los Angeles. I mean, the whole West Coast is corrupted, people. And so when you hear that God has it into to destroy the California coast, you better believe it. And if what I said earlier concerning Pompeii has any truth to it in today's society in America, then you know. You know what I mean? You know that there's serious judgment coming. I mean, to think that a man of God, right, can't do anything unless it involves sex, immorality, impurity, racism, subjugation, and slavery at a mall, to go watch a movie? It's ridiculous. What are we living? I mean, dude, is anybody free in America? Is the presidency free? Is the Congress free? Is anybody free in America? Is anybody free to live their lives? To do the things that they need to do? To get through from point A to point B? Or are we all, walking here on pins and needles? Forgetting the big picture, right? Forgetting the big picture. And forgetting that there is a living God who is judging us. Look, I don't know what your relationship with God is. I don't know what your what your take is on movies and malls. I don't hang out at malls, and I barely go to any movies unless it's the stack that I have here, right? And some people are going, that's too many movies. They're gonna hit you. Who's gonna hit me? They're actors. They've been hired, right? That's entertainment. If it's not entertainment, then you need to have a show explaining exactly what a movie is, exactly what the camera can do. You need to explain to internationals and the rest of the people of the world, when you watch a movie, this is, you need to explain that there's some sort of divine camera, right? There's man's camera and God's camera. You need to come clean. You need to come out. Or else people are going to get hurt. People are going to get killed. And people are going to get hit. And that's the reason why I did this video. Is because I was hit too many times. And I don't want it. Okay, so if I've offended you people who are directors and producers of movies, now maybe I've let the cat out of the bag. That may not even be the cat that's in the bag. There may be more to it than that. And then that's probably what it is. There's more to it than that, than what I'm saying on this video. I really didn't say much, except for harp on the fact that I couldn't watch a movie and I can't go to a mall, right? Because people have lost the whole aspect of the big picture. And also they don't understand where God is coming from when it comes to entertainment, right? Some of the stuff that's out there in the movies today, the violence, the sex, the immorality is just so graphic, but yet children watch it. And now you're telling me they can switch from the graphic and the violence and the vulgarity and immorality to what? To live and documentary? To live, where you can talk to the child when they're watching this, so you can talk to a person who's unaware, and then if that person doesn't respond favorably, you can jump out of that movie and through the community kill them or hurt them. I don't know what else to tell you, but today was my last day with Clackamas. I don't know how many more cities this is going to happen. In Beaverton, and of course on my way back, I ran into security at the mall, right? As I was leaving the mall, as I was leaving the movie theater area, I was given a warning by another store. I was given a warning by a little girl, and I ran into a young security officer. He was probably about 21 to 25, and I told him exactly what had happened. The cologne that I had gotten, the vial of cologne that I had gotten as a sample, just to see how it responded to my skin. You can still smell it. I returned it to Macy's without explanation because there were people at the counter, right? So I reversed the whole thing. And the people that I had seen or dealt with on the train coming into Clackamas, I ended up seeing them again. And my words toward them from a distance was not kind, so I didn't have to sit next to them. But all the way back to Portland, the African-American community came out, mulattoes came out, Europeans came, the European clan came out, the Hispanics came, I think the Hispanics came out, and the police department from Portland came out. So obviously the city knows what's going on. The police department knows what's going on. The security at the mall knew what's going on. And before you knew it, everybody had a part in the situation. And they were just waiting for it to erupt. Sort of like Pompeii, right? So sort of like the mountain there, just waiting to erupt and for somebody to get killed. People should not be living on pins and needles in America. Europeans, you don't own the world that we live in. God owns it. You shouldn't do this to people. Make them feel the way you do. Making them feel like they can't go nowhere, can't do nothing with their lives. That is an evil thing that you're doing. It is a wicked thing that you have done. And if that's what you've done to America, to the foreigners, and to the Negroes in this country, unless they subjugate themselves to you, shame on you. Those of you who do that. Shame on you for not taking God at His word and for not respecting God, right? Who gives us, right? Who gives us this limitation, right? This is God's limitation. If you can do better, you go ahead and do better. If you can do better, right? If you can do better than this, I suggest you do it. Right? If you think you can make a world without any other nations on the face of the earth, by all means, the universe is yours. If you can make a world, right? If you can make a world without Africans, and a world without Native Americans, and a world where it's just completely you and you alone, with just your people, your kind of people, and who knows what you know and who are on your level, then the universe is yours. But it's not going to be on this planet. Because he made from one, every nation of mankind to walk the face of the earth, right? And he gave to one, one has 5 talents, another one has 10 talents, and another one has 1 talent. So nobody is going to match you, and you're not going to match everybody else. You understand? So, for what it's worth, here we go again. Let's take back the big picture. Let's take back the Word of God, right? And let's remember that this little world here is in this context. Okay, which is the bigger context? This little world here, right? It's this world in this context. This is the bigger context. Let's remember that. God is above your movies. Okay? And as he is above your malls. Right? He's beyond your malls, your clothing, your furniture, your Macy's and Nordstrom's and all of the foo-foo stuff that you buy, watches, clothing, all of that. Let's keep it real, if at all possible. Let's not have this, become the end of us. For movie theater, all this rudeness is not necessary. The food, it's not needed. Let's keep it real, right? Let's keep it real.